Sanskriti Gupta, and I recently started volunteering with Prati Sandhi about 2 months ago. We want to bring forth a platform that will, that will allow the openness regarding the issues that are considered a taboo in our society, and in order to move towards a more progressive mindset. So I would like to start by asking, your story. Like, so did you always know that there was a Meera in Satwik, and when and how did you know?
Interesting. I was talking about this with my therapist. I remember. So we were talking about the fact how I was having difficulty in embracing certain elements of mine while I was a child, and bringing that out right now because I was often ridiculed for being Meera when I was Satsvik, because I was expected to be Satsvik, but
Mhm.
uh, some version of Meera would always pop out in front of people, and I would be looked down upon.
So, I would like to ask you, like, how did you eventually, come out to the world then?
Right. It was a really slow process. I came in terms of my sexuality. First, I thought that okay, maybe I'm a homosexual, gay, effeminate man, whatever. And then उसके बाद maybe I came out to my parents as homosexual. धीरे धीरे करके पहले I told my mama, then उसके 6 महीने बाद I told my papa. उसके
Yeah.
बाद I got admission at Ambedkar University, Delhi. उसके
Mhm.
बाद I was exposed to the queer community in Delhi.
Yeah.
And a lot. I came across a lot of queer folks. I started
Mhm.
going to LGBTQ events, protests. I started showing up everywhere. I started being more involved and active with the community. Started with that.
Mhm.
I started exploring my femininity, maybe through an eyeliner, maybe through
Yeah.
skirts, maybe through anything else. And then I started adopting the term non-binary, that or whatever. So I started presenting myself more femme, more androgynous. Really difficult time in my life because obviously, I mean, you can imagine I was out in the public wearing
Right.
wearing non-conventional clothes that a man should not wear. I
Mm.
was visibly very masculine
Right.
as far as my Adam's apple is concerned, or as far as my beard
Mm.
is concerned. I had a lot of big facial beard that I used to keep. And so it was really evident that okay, this person is a man, but still this person chooses to present himself as
Mm.
feminine. So that was met with a lot of ridicule amongst the common eye. I'm a woman. This
Mhm.
one random night, I was really intoxicated, and I realized that okay, maybe I'm a woman. That's how I guess Meera started her journey. I went to a psychiatrist at Karma, a
Mhm.
clinical psychologist at Karma. I was like, what to do now? I mean, what do you do after this? You realize that you're a woman, but clearly you're socially a man to world outside. How do you socially transition? How do you legally transition? Medical legal transition actually bhul jao. My first question
Mm.
was that how would I be in terms of my own true version? More obstacle in identifying myself as a binary trans woman was that the fact that I used to go by the non-binary label pehle. And my
Mm.
understanding of being non-binary was rejecting conventional gender norms. I am dysphoric. I understood my dysphoria, that where my dysphoria springs from. My
Mhm.
facial hair, my body hair, my voice, how I choose myself, how others view me. If anyone calls me by hi, bro, dude, so
Mm.
how people choose to socially view me, the lens they view me from. I started having a problem with that, and then I
Mhm.
was like, but for me, gender doesn't matter. So why is this bothering me so much? Why am I so desperate to be called a woman? And then my clinical psychologist at Karma made me realize that that's not how it works. तुम्हारे हाथ में नहीं है. Be true to yourself at least, to what
Mhm.
you to to what you deserve, what you do, what you feel like. Because I feel again the oppression that we as human beings uh, are exposed to. It's not only external, it's
Mhm.
really internal as well. I think I have more potential to abuse myself, harm myself in ways that no one else can. These sessions through a lot of introspection, a lot of writing, a lot of ranting, and
Mhm.
a great support system from my friends in Delhi. I started socially presenting myself as Meera. मैं घर आई Calcutta एक महीने के लिए, which was a very difficult time for me again because I was Satvik to everyone, right? So it was that Satvik Meera initial transition phase
Mhm.
where I was even without a name. I did
Right.
not have Meera at that time. So I was a nameless human being for a good 1.5 months, where I was struggling to wear clothes that I wanted to wear, but my mother was not comfortable with me wearing them
Mhm.
घर पर because there are 9 other people here. I live in a joint family. और plus building में लोग क्या कहेंगे time, and somehow I made it through. Somehow I made it through. I went back to Delhi. I shopped a lot. I went all out. I
Yeah.
shopped a lot. I got a lot of clothes. And I was like, okay, new identity, new everything. So Meera it is. I was like, let's socially start presenting myself as a woman.
Mhm.
The first month I saw it like an experiment.
Mhm.
Like, okay, let's start experimenting my womanhood, what I feel like. And if I'm comfortable with it, I'll continue with it. And if I'm not comfortable with it, I'll go back to my older life or whatever. And then after that 1 month, I realized that there is nothing to be comfortable about. I always longed for this life. So I
Mhm.
will obviously continue to go with it. Got an affidavit from the court. मैंने
Yeah.
newspaper में छपाया, gazette के पास में
Mhm.
गई, formalities मैंने पूरा किया.
Mhm.
Then Aadhaar card, PAN card, all of that. I ticked the boxes in my head. Entire thing, what remained constant and what really, really helped me was my support system, my friends in Delhi, my college, the queer community over there.
Mhm.
My therapist, she is an angel. I love her.
Yeah.
I have had,
Don't we all?
I don't, yeah, I don't think I've had the इतना लंबा relationship मेरा किसी और के साथ नहीं है जितना मेरी therapist के साथ है.
I'm sure. Exactly.
Yeah, then I realized that I will start with the medical transitioning as well. मैं साथ में laser भी करवा रही थी. But
Mhm.
with this, we need to understand that there was just a lot of energy that was going away. मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा था. I was feeling tired so often, and this was without any medical intervention in my body. Sensation that I never
Mhm.
faced in metros, outside,
Right.
people staring, so many eyes on you. Somehow you become
Mhm.
so busy with everyone. So
Right.
that I was dealing with that. I was dealing with my romantic sexual interest. I
Mhm.
was dealing with finances. I was dealing with पढ़ाई college की. सभी कुछ मतलब एक साथ हो रहा था.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so then धीरे धीरे करके, and plus I started doing laser treatment also, which was a
Right.
bitch. Hurted like
Mhm.
anything, really bad on my
Yeah.
face. And then धीरे धीरे करके I went to an endocrinologist. Endocrinologist के पास जाती हूँ तो वो बोलता है that dysphoria certificate से नहीं होगा, you need to go to another fucking psychiatrist and get another certificate.
Mhm.
And he misgenders me. So there is one more problem with being trans. You are
Right.
really, really, really dysphoric. You need to handle that dysphoria, and handling that dysphoria means that you are conscious about everything. Yeah, we consume. I mean, Netflix is filled with cis shows.
Right.
If I remember we were being talked about, we were talking about intersectionality back in college at that time, and our teacher was talking about how black women had to face a dual sort of oppression from black men and white women. And then the
Mhm.
first thought that I have, she's not even mentioning the fact that there were black trans women as well who faced
Right.
oppression from black cis women, from white women, and black men. So where are we? My social contacts as well. धीरे धीरे करके I started going into modeling again because I really really like
Yeah.
modeling as Satvik.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
started going into modeling as Meera. And I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. So I started doing that. Then I went under hormones. Now, going under hormones was another phase of my transition, which is still going on.
Right.
And that is another headache because mood swings are real. I had no idea that I was capable of having mood swings.
Right.
But I don't know. And since I'm getting estrogens, I'm feeling a lot, and suddenly I'm getting all feminine and sensitive, and all of it is happening.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So it's like second puberty.
It was exactly like, I was going to ask for like how, has your transition been? Like, I'm sure it's really, really, fulfilling, but I'm sure it's very challenging as well. Like, as you mentioned, it's not just getting a certificate or just getting an operation, so much more. What do you have to say to the fact that, a lot of people might think that a transition is just an operation, right? But it's clearly not. So what do you have to say to that fact?
Realizing that I'm trans. The first मेरे को पहले जब when I realized that I'm trans, no, मेरे को पता है क्या लगा सबसे पहले मेरे को लगा कि oh my god, my power in the society has reduced. It has actually reduced now. So you don't have any powers anywhere, be it in family, be it in college, be it in public spaces, be it anywhere. And when I say that you don't have powers, it means that it's also cis, be it the language in the textbooks, the vocabulary, the movies. I mean, I've told you all of that. It's just all this. If you start pointing it out one by one to everyone, right? Then people don't take criticism. People do not. People don't want to listen. They don't want to understand. They are defensive around their fragile privilege. That is the truth. Cis families are the most oppressive space for anyone. I feel, even for any cis woman, I would say that it is it does have the potential to become an oppressive space, given the kind of ideologies that is perpetrated, given the fact that at the end of it, family is an institution that works according to the state. The state is being able to perpetrate a certain kind of ideology, a certain kind of mentality, a certain kind of ruling, a certain kind of attitude, because it has the family in its hand. The family is the traditional middle upper class Hindu family is the ideal family where you're supposed to have a husband and a wife of a certain weight, of a certain skin color, of a certain sexuality, and you are supposed to have kids who are supposed to be fair and should be ideally guys.
Right. Like, what would you like to tell our followers about people thinking trans people cannot have real sex? Like, what even is real sex? Like, could you please deconstruct this for us?
Exactly the point. What even is real sex?
Yeah.
You need to understand that even in first, even if we talk in a cis hetero context, why is the focus always there on the man? Why if you see the porn industry, if you see the way all of this sells, the way media shows sex, the way we consume sex and form certain ideas of how sex works, why is it so centralized around fucking penetration? If you think about two guys, why is that so centered around anal penetration? Or why is, I don't know, why is anything centered around penetration? As a trans person, I would say this: sex is a really, really complicated subject for me, given that my physical body is transitioning. You see, I'm developing boobies with a penis. So it's kind of difficult for me to imagine myself being sexually involved with someone at this time, because I am technically dysphoric to my penis. But if I'm getting sexually involved with someone, it means that somewhere my penis is getting satisfied, and I'm not very comfortable with my penis getting satisfied. Because at the end of it, I'm not associating genitals with gender here. I'm not doing that. There are a lot of trans women with a penis who are comfortable with it, and that's fine. They are valid, whatever. That is fine. But
Yeah.
at least in my case, I am extremely not okay with it. It is a reminder of my old self. There is a lot of violence in dating apps for trans people. When I did not pass, then men used to advance with their sexual innuendos, and it was mostly gay men, to be honest.
Right.
It was mostly gay. And as I told you, I'm not okay with that idea.
Right.
I remember once I was sexting with this dude, and he forwarded this picture of two naked guys to me, and I got really triggered. I was like, "Why are you sending that to me right now?"
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, are you thinking you getting where I'm going, right? So
Right.
that
Right.
I was really against that idea, and now the fact that I've started passing, and the fact that I'm so open about my gender identity to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that when someone sees me now socially, no one stares at me. People have stopped staring because there's nothing left to stare. I am a part of the mango crowd now. One sees my bio or anything, they immediately block me after
Mm-hmm.
right swiping on me, be it Tinder or Hinge or any other dating app, which becomes really depressing for me because of the fact when someone says that they're attracted to women, why is it only restricted to cis women? Is my question.
Exactly. Right. So yeah, I
When
mean, it is,
when
yeah, true. Asking you next, like, how would you deconstruct this general stereotype around gender and this narrative that, we have around a certain kind of male and a certain kind of female sexuality?
I hope I was, I mean, articulate, nuanced enough to clear it out.
Yeah. I mean, you can still, yeah, you have cleared it out, but still, if you want to say something, how we can really deconstruct this connotation that we have around a certain kind of male, certain kind of female. Like you were just saying, like, why is it only that you're attracted to a cis woman and like, a certain kind of sexuality that people have in their heads
I think it
regarding
stems
men
from
and
certain
women.
kind. It's all of this stems from certain kind of expectations that you have. When you
Mm.
say when you say a woman, why is it always assumed that it will be cis?
Yeah.
When so that's why it's important to specify it's a cis woman, so
Right.
that the use of the word trans gets normalized.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that a woman will always be cis is problematic.
Right. That's
Assuming
very
that
true.
a man will always be cis is problematic. A trans woman who is not straight, why is it
Right.
always assumed that trans women are supposed to be attracted to men? There are a lot of
Mm.
lesbian trans women as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
I
sure.
feel then
True.
it becomes a problem. Fixating on certain gender
Mm.
roles, fixating on certain stereotypes, fixating on
Right.
certain expectations that, okay, this is how we are supposed to have sex.
Mm.
This is the man in the picture, this is the woman in the picture. In the gay relationship, also there is a man and a woman. I mean, what?
Yeah. 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 So I mean, there are so many people, that might be struggling with their sexuality, or more so by the pressure that the society puts on us to be only a certain way. So I would finally like to ask you, like, how can one overcome this misogyny, the pressure of transphobia, and like the social ostracization?
I feel in individualistic sense, I would say that what I did at least was,
Mm.
first of all, it's important to identify that, okay, this is misogyny, this is transphobia, this is some kind of systematic structural violence or abuse that is being
Right.
imposed towards me. और वो कैसे होगा? Awareness,
Right.
education, talking about it, normalizing it in our Netflix shows, in media houses, and in in the large scale institutions. To keep to have institutions, communities, organizations like CPS and Center for Prevention of Sexual Harassment, not only in colleges but
Right.
everywhere. It's high time that we start formalizing a safe working environment for
Mm.
queer folks, for LGBTQ folks, for Muslim folks, that these things do not exist in isolation.
Hmm.
Misogyny cannot go. Transphobia cannot go till casteism doesn't go. Till
Right.
classism doesn't go.
Yeah.
We need to we need to understand that we live in a society which is a network of all of these power structures connected to each other.
Hmm.
It's not as if okay हम लोग sexism को आज handle करेंगे, homosexuality को आज handle करेंगे. I mean it's not treating them as separate issues. On an individualistic sense, I would say, in order to process it better, writing always helps. That has really, really helped me. Writing it all down, my thoughts, maintaining a journal or a
Yeah.
diary. Or hope I
Yeah.
was.
Yes, it was really good. Like, I'm sure, like, this will help a lot of people. And I'm so glad I did this interview. Like, you've helped me so much right now, like on a personal level. Anything else you would like to say to us?
Nothing I can think of as such to be very honest.
Yeah. No, it was a great, great interview.